How are you guys doing today? You guys ready to join the children's ministry? That is not my ministry. I'm glad you guys are here today. Out of all the places you guys could be, you guys chose to be here with us to worship God, and we greatly appreciate that. I'm excited to see a bunch of new faces, friends, family. So just thank you from the bottom of my heart. We appreciate your decision, and I'm going to try to do my best to make the most out of it. Have you guys ever recognized the difference between starting and finishing? Two completely different things. You can finish, but you have to have a start. And you can start, but you never really have to have a finish. How many of you guys started something but never finished? Like, read a book all day long with me. I got many of those on my list. You know, Audible's my best friend because I'll just press play and all day long in my car. But reading is a little bit different for me. It's just hard for me to do. You guys ever just feel stirred up in your spirit to start a business, a project? Just something, anything. You know, if you're artistic, I gotta, draw, I gotta paint, I gotta create. You know? If you're like my wife, I gotta clean, I gotta organize, you're messing up my stuff. You know? But how many times do we start something and we never get to finish it? In this current series that we're in, The Time Is Now, this is where the children of God are. They're in this same situation. If you were here last week, then you kind of know a little bit of background, but if you weren't, I want to just quickly take you through. So last week, we talked about Solomon. Solomon had this great temple. He had the greatest temple that you could ever imagine. And within this temple, the Spirit of God dwelt. There was the presence of God was in this temple. And everybody from around the world came to this temple to honor God and to worship God. Everybody knew about this temple. This was no little temple. I mean, it was overlaid with gold and it had pillars, and I mean, there was just so much detail to this temple. It was amazing. After Solomon died, the children of Judah, they turned away from God. They just kind of got distracted a little bit. And they started worshiping other idols. And so God was like, okay, I got to get these people back. I got to win them back to me somehow. So we're going to go through a little bit of process here. We're just going to go step by step. And so God allowed it in 587 BC, God allowed the Babylonians to come in, destroy the temple, and take them captive. Just to get their attention. Now, being captive is pretty bad, but you know what's pretty worse? They destroyed the temple. That's like two rivalry colleges going at it. And what do? Let's go take their mascot. Let's go humiliate them, right? They were humiliated. You destroyed the temple. Okay, you got us, I understand that, but the temple where God dwelt, like that was just no little thing. That just wasn't a takeover. They destroyed them. And so now it brings us into part 2 of The Time Is Now. Persevering through discouragement. In Haggai chapter 13, or verse 13. Then Haggai, the Lord's messenger, gave this message to the Lord to the people. I am with you, declares the Lord. So the Lord stirred up the spirit, Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and the spirit of Joshua, and he's the high priest, and the spirit of the whole remnant of the people. Everyone that was left over, God just stirred up all their spirit. He said, okay, you guys got to get back to this. He sent Haggai in. He said, okay, I need you to tell them something. If you remember last week, what did he tell them? The time is now. They were faced with opposition. They were able to go back to their country, and they had a chance to rebuild the temple. Like, this was it, guys. They had a chance. There was a slight chance. Okay, they're going to take us back, and we're going to rebuild the temple. We have an opportunity. Let's do this. How many of you started something, but when you actually got to it, it was just a little bit harder than you thought? So they started building the temple, and they're like, oh, you know what? It's kind of just a little bit too difficult. Maybe it's not God's will. Yeah, it's not God's will. Come on, let's just go. Let's just leave it. The easy way out. I really want to do it. I feel it in my spirit to serve, but yeah, it's a little bit, maybe it's not God's will. It's not, my season is just, I'm waiting on the Lord. And so what they started to do, their other option was, well, we're not going to build God's house because it's just a little bit too difficult. I got a better idea. Let's build our own houses. And so the Bible says that they started building their lavish houses. Lavish houses, okay, let's just bring that into context today. Hardwood floors, marble, granite countertops. You got the marble slabs in your shower. You don't just got one shower head. You got like shower head here, 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 here. I mean, they were just living it up. And so God sends Haggai. He says, no, okay, no, this ain't right. They're into themselves right now. It's all about them. Tell them right now is the time to build my house. And so God is saying, hey, guys, now is the time. Right now. I know it's difficult, but now is the time. Why? Pretty interesting question. Haggai 1:13-14. They came and began to work on the house of the Lord Almighty, their God. So now they're working on it. Okay, Haggai. We'll listen to you. We understand. Okay, let's go back to it. Let's go. So they're starting to build. They're starting to build. And 1 month goes by and, let's stop. 1 month goes by and they stop. Like, what? Are you serious? You guys just heard from the word of the Lord? Not even a month? You started and you didn't finish? I don't know. It kind of reminds me, getting stirred up in my spirit. I kind of get these tendencies just to do something. And I had a wild thought, okay? Not too long ago, I go, okay. I want to take my fitness up to, the next level because, I don't know, I just got this wild hair, and I just got an itch on my back. I got to scratch it. I don't know. I got to do something. CrossFit. That was the answer. So I go online. I'm checking out all these different CrossFit places. Nah, that one don't look cool. This one looks cool. I like how this one has this. The pictures are nice. This website actually looks like a website. Oh, okay, I'll go try it out. So I went into one of them. I didn't get a good vibe. I just left. So I went into another one. So I went to different CrossFits here in the area, and I found one. The instructor approached me. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. Vince, just checking it out. So we just started talking, and I tell him I'm interested in it, and, I just got this. I just want to do it. Yeah, I could do this. I see it on TV all the time, people on the gram. Easy, right? And so he's like, yeah, okay, well, you know what? He's all, come tomorrow. I'll be here. I'll give you a one-on-one. And I'm like, dude, one-on-one? The Lord is blessing me today. Because one-on-ones, you don't get a one-on-one. I mean, they cost. So he's like, come on in. It'll just be me and you, one-on-one, before any other class. I'm like, all right, this is it. God, you're pointing me in the right direction. I'm going to be fit. This is it. I'm going to be a beast, right? And so I go the next morning. I'm all hyped. I wake up early. I'm just excited. It's like, okay, I got to show up today. I got to bring everything to the table. This is it. So I go in. I walk in. He's like, hey, we greet. So, okay, now this is the workout of the day. You're going to go through all these different exercises. I'm like, got it. Just point the way. Just point the way. I got this. I'm ready to show this guy up because, he doesn't know me. Right? So I'm over here thinking like, dude, this guy's probably going to sponsor me. I do. Once I start this, this is it. Game over. And so he goes, okay, I'm going to time you. I've given you this much time. I'm like, man, you're pretty generous on that time. Okay, let's do this. Go. So I just start doing it, and I'm going, and in my head, I am just busting through every workout, right? And all of a sudden, I just feel all this tingling. Oh my gosh, what's going on, right? It comes to a point where I don't just feel the tingling, but I see the tingling. Have you guys ever saw the tingling? It gets all black, and then all these white dots start just coming and going, okay? I don't really know what exercise machine I was on, but I just kind of rolled on the floor. And then he's yelling at me. He's like, it's all in your head. Come on, you can do it. It's all in your head. I'm like, this is not in my head. Like, no, it's not. He's like, oh, you could keep going, come on. No, so I just managed to crawl up against the wall, and I'm just there, just trying to play it cool. I'm like, you know what? I wonder how much I got through. Like, dude, I killed it. He goes, okay, well, you didn't even last 5 minutes. Didn't get through the workout, but we could work on you. And I was just looking at him like, are you serious? At that point, all these other CrossFitters come in. They know what to do. This music starts going, this bell starts going off, and they're just going at it. And at that time, my eyes are starting to correct themselves, and I'm, regaining my composure. My shakiness is kind of just going away a little bit, so I start standing up, and, we're just kind of talking, like, we could work on this, and like, yeah, that's cool, all right, maybe, and my vision becomes clear. I'm like, oh, dude, it's filled with girls. Like, peace. I ain't never coming back. How do you just regain from that? How do you bring yourself, like, I didn't finish. But maybe some of you guys are in the same situation in your life. Maybe it is in CrossFit. Maybe it's joining the gym. Maybe it's trying to lose weight or trying to get out of debt. Maybe there's just some area in your life where you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. I can do this. We're barely into the second week of January. You got all your New Year resolutions down. And you know what? At this point, they say it starts going down here. It just starts going down. It was all hype. You're starting to fall back on your commitments. In February, guess what? I'm going to have the gym to myself. I notice what people are doing now. Now they're just enrolling a little bit earlier because they don't want to be the new guy coming in. In February, it's still going to be empty. What commitments are you making that it's just a little bit too hard? God is calling you. He has stirred up your spirit in some area of your life. He is saying, the time is now. But then there's that resistance. If this describes you just a little bit, if you're discouraged in some area of your life, then I have a message from God. God tells us how we can deal with this today. He doesn't leave us alone on this. Once again, he goes back to Haggai. He goes, okay, Haggai, tell them this. Who of you is left who saw the house in its former glory? Now he's talking about Solomon's temple. He's saying, hey, do you guys remember the temple? See, Haggai at this time, he's like 70 years old. So in captivity, 50 years, they say roughly he'd be about a teenager when this previous temple, Solomon's temple, was built. So Haggai remembers this. So God's like, hey, do you guys remember that temple? How does it look to you now? Does it not seem to you like nothing? Discouragement. Discouragement. And if you're taking notes, I want you to write this down. The cause of discouragement is comparisons and lack of progress. Now, I don't know why we have these tendencies. I really don't. I really don't. And looking online, social media, it just makes it a whole lot worse. We always tend to compare our start to someone else's finish. Like we just started. A couple months in, that's still just starting. They say a business doesn't get any profit, so after 5 years, that's just starting. But somehow we tend to just compare our start to somebody else's finish. And what does that do? Oh my gosh. We just start looking and looking. I used to compare all the time. I'm trying to just wing myself off. I mean, I get caught up in it too. When I was in construction, why did all the younger guys have better trucks than mine? My truck barely ran. I had all my tools in the back. I couldn't afford one, but I was working harder and I was working more. Like, how does that work out? Like, dude, he has the girl. He has the better car. He has the nicer body. Like, come on, guys. What about for the women? The kids. Oh, don't go to the kids because you know what? Her hair is always combed. Like, I pick up my daughter from school one day. I pick her up, and she comes and gives me a hug. And I look at her like, what happened to you? Like, dude, you left this way. Like, she had on one of those little cute little wife beaters, and it was just hanging on by a string. I'm like, that didn't happen here. So I take a picture, send it to her mom and my daughter. I'm like, who dressed her? Like, I know it's crazy in the morning, but come on. You know? Their kids always take the money to school for their field trips on time. We don't. Like getting text, Mom, I need to pay. Please drop it off. Notice whenever it's something bad, it's hers, and when it's something good, it's mine. But we always tend to compare, and that's why they stopped. They stopped building the temple because there was this celebration going on, and they all had a gathering, and they all took a look at what they created, and they saw it, and like remember the form. Like, oh, dude, it looks nothing like it. Scholars will even tell you that there was no comparison. You couldn't match Solomon's temple, the wisest man, wealthy. He had it all, and you're over here trying to like, dude, it doesn't work. You can't. And so when you start comparing, discouragement comes in. And that's bad. That's not good. Because once you're discouraged, you just want to stop. It doesn't matter what God told you. Dude, I just can't. Like, you don't understand it. It's like, no, I can never be that. I can never do that. Yeah, I know God has called me, but look at that. And it just stops you right in your track. It brings a lack of progress. It's nothing like we expected. See, because once we have that first inclination, that first that little spark under our seat, we just imagine it the best. Never at one time do we see it in a state of like this mediocre level. You know, if I ever imagine myself speaking, I see myself speaking to just crowds. You know, when I was over there working on cars, I was fixing every car. Not just every car, but every nicest car. See, we start out that way, but then when reality hits, it's just kind of like, that's not what I pictured. Like, that's not the image or thought I had, and now I'm in a place where it just doesn't match up. And so, well, you know, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I really wasn't meant to serve at my church. They do things a little bit different. Maybe I wasn't really meant to start a business. I mean, it's not going right. Everything's going downhill. I'm it feels like I'm taking 2 steps forward, but when that happens, it's like something happens and now I'm taking 3 steps back. And my marriage, my spouse isn't responsive. Like, really? Like, I'm trying. Maybe this isn't for me. My kids are still acting crazy. No matter how much I tell them, you know, just do whatever you want to do. Discouragement, lack of progress, feeling alone. I can't do it. There's no hope. But God is so good. But God is so good. Because the truth is, if He's called you to do something, He'll make a way for it to happen. But you see, I know what you see really doesn't look like it, but sight is the enemy of faith. You know, every day we're having that constant battle against our faith. And it's because we're looking at everything that's in front of us. And we're not focused on what God said about us. And so we just get discouraged. We just want to quit. If we could go to Haggai chapter 2, verse 4. Okay, so when discouragement sets in. See, God is good. See, last week, he just breaks it down so simple. He told Haggai to tell him, okay, build the temple. Simple. Okay, cool. Well, how do I do that? Steps 1, 2, and 3. Do you guys remember the steps? Go to the mountain, get the wood, build the temple. It's that simple. Don't overthink it. Go to the mountain, go to the place that has all the resources. Get the wood, get the resource, and then build the temple. Take that resource, bring it, and build my temple. So, let's bring it to today. Okay, you got a job. What do? Whatever it is you do, that's your mountain. Okay, I don't really like my job, but you know what? After school, after work, I like to go and, create all of these things. That's your mountain. I'm really good with people. That's your mountain. God is saying, okay, go to the mountain, the place where you're getting all your resources from. Gather all your resources, because each and every one of us are in different fields, and we do different things, and we have different passions, and God has gifted us in different ways. He's saying, wherever your passion is, that's your mountain. You go and get that, bring it to my house, and build it. But I'm not sure what that is. I like to do a lot of different things. Give us 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Sign up for our growth track, where we will help you discover your passions, your abilities, what God has called you for. It's just 4 weeks. And you can help serve, because guess what? You weren't created to make a wage. That's a lie. You were created to make a difference. Not just any difference, but an eternal difference. And so God is calling you. He is saying, go to the mountain, get the wood, and build my house. But discouragement sets in. So Haggai chapter 2, verse 4. But now, okay, let's address this issue. We're discouraged. And it's seeping in pretty good. And so he addresses Zerubbabel, he addresses Joshua, and he addresses the people, and he tells them all the same thing. He says, be strong. I know it's hard. Be strong. I don't want to do it. Be strong. But you don't understand. Be strong. He's not saying anything else. He said, listen, whatever your oppositions are, be strong. He doesn't stop there. Because you could be strong, and then he goes further and do the work. That's it. What work? Go to the mountain, get the wood, and build my house. That's all you have to worry about. Be strong. I don't feel like it. Be strong. But you don't understand be strong. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it when God is speaking. He's saying, I got this. Just be strong and do the work. Many times I'd be working with John, we'd be in construction, and we'd be working, and me and him, we're on this flow. We're going into a house, we're setting tile, and we're doing all these different things, and there'd be a lot of people that were a lot slower than us, and I don't know why, but we would just love to go by all these guys, do something, and try to get them going. It's like, dude, do the work. Look at what you're letting go. Do the work. So when you feel like giving up, don't. When your spouse is unresponsive, keep loving. When your kids seem like they ain't listening, keep pouring into them. Keep honoring when the person doesn't seem honorable. You got to keep on doing the hard right. You have to keep on doing the hard right. It's not easy, but you have to keep on doing the hard right. Even when you don't see results. Keep going to the gym when the numbers are going the wrong way on the scale. I think that happens to them. You know, it's important what God says, but it's also important what he doesn't say. He doesn't say dream the dream. He doesn't say talk the talk. Because we love to talk about my new venture, the new thing I'm going to do. Quit talking about it and just do it. Just do it. But why? Here's the kicker. This is the best part. In the same scripture, he ends it with this. For I am with you. That's it. That's it. For I am with you. What does that mean? That you no longer have to do it by yourself. You don't have to rely on your own strengths. You don't have to rely on your own capabilities, your own shortcomings. You don't have to rely on all those things that stop you from moving forward. Because if God is with you, then who can be against you? He said, you can do all of these things. You can build a great temple. Why? Because I am with you. You can rebuild my house. Why? Because I am with you. And my God never leaves nor forsakes. If you could just close your eyes right there, right where you're at. See, God is telling us, he has stirred up our spirit. There are many things that he has told us to do. And I know it's only the second week in January. We're not even fully there yet, and we're just kind of stopping at this point. What is it that God has called you to do? What is it that he has put in your mind that your spirit is stirred up about? That one thing that you just can't let go of. Because he did create you to make a difference. But these oppositions, they just keep getting in the way. And it's that opposition that leads to comparison, that leads to depression, that we just got to stop. If today we can just focus on that one thing and recommit to God today and say, Lord, no matter what lies in front of me, no matter what obstacle or what may come my way, I will do the work for one reason. You are with me. God is calling you, and we are here to help you with your next step. We want to help you make a difference and fulfill your calling in life. And today, I open up this altar. That's just the next step for you. Just to recommit from what God has called you to do. If you could just take a step of faith and say, okay, that's me. There is something I'm lacking on. There is something that I haven't finished. I started and I just kind of let it go. Whether it be a business, no matter what it is, God is calling you to something greater. And I know we have the excuses. I know we have all the valid reasons that may seem right. But God is saying, no. I have called you to build my house. Will you please stand? I want to open up this altar to you. I want to invite you to come forward. We have a team that'll help pray for you if you want to take this next step. It's not an easy one. Commitments aren't easy. There's nothing easy about sticking to your word. It's hard. It's a struggle. But we can't lose sight of one thing. He is with us today. If that is you, as our team continues to play, take a step in faith. I invite you. God is with you, and He's here to help you.